If you like this video, please click like, share it, subscribe. Button's down there. If you press it now, it's done. Get it pressed. And if you want coaching with me in Nottingham or online, all the information is in the bio. How you doing, all right? So this week I'm doing another aiming video. Now, obviously I talk about myths and things I hear, you know, people being coached, some mad stuff really. And one of the craziest ones I hear is that you shouldn't adjust when you're down on the shot. You should just basically pick that line at the top and then hit it, right? Which I think is really hilarious. I mean, you're literally being told not to aim. Just say it out loud. So I saw a post, another post on Facebook, so it prompted me to do, I did a minute thing on Facebook, created a lot of engagement, people saying, oh no, you shouldn't, you know, aim, you shouldn't aim. And yeah, it was quite funny. So when I talk about adjustments when they're down, there are micro adjustments, they are tiny little bits. That's why it's good to pick a decent line at the top. So, but down, when you're down the shot, you will be sort of making sure you're perfectly in line. But people ask me what are micro adjustments. So I've made a video here and a couple of videos on a couple of shots to make the point that they are slightly micro, they are really small micro adjustments, and even to miss by a long way, it's still quite small. So check it out. Here we go. I'm gonna use this pink as the first example. So you see those two reds there, they're quite big misses. So what I'm gonna do to make the point is I'm gonna set up to pop that pink in the middle of the pocket, and you'll see where I'm aiming. Then I'm going to adjust to miss the red on the right and adjust back to the middle and then back to miss on the red on the left. So that you'll mean from that middle of the pocket, the adjustment to miss by a long way is only small, really. So when I talk about micro adjustments, I really mean micro adjustments. That's why it's good to pick a decent line here, so that when you get down, those adjustments are only just that tiny little bits. Now, when it comes to line of sight, there's a lot talked about line of sight in the game, like it's some magic pill. Absolutely, it's important to know what your line of sight is and to pick that line behind the shot that you're playing. If you come coaching with me, we'll find your line of sight. It takes us 5 minutes. We'll never need to speak about it again. What I won't do is send you nasty letters if you try and tell someone else the information that you've paid for. I won't do that. Like I say, it's all yours to keep. But anyway, so look, I'm gonna play this shot now. So you see, I'm addressing to pop the pink. So that is to pop the pink in the middle of the pocket, and you see where I'm aiming there down that camera angle. Now to miss the red on the right, all I have to do is adjust to there. Now I'm hitting the red on the right. Now we're back to the pocket again, I hope. And then to miss the red on the left, it is there. So you see that adjustment is not a lot, it's tiny, and that's to miss by miles, and you never adjust that much, right? So now we're gonna use my point of view, and I hate this. Here we go, so let's get this right. So again, this is my tracer right, look on that dot. Now this is to pop that pink right in the middle of the pocket. This is to hit the red on the right, middle of the pocket, then the red on the left. So you see, if I was in the middle of the pocket there, I'd make little micro adjustments just to make sure I'm right, and then hopefully I'd send it on its way. And there you go. So you see there, it's only tiny bits. Absolutely, you should micro adjust. And we're going to do another shot, this one. Right, next shot is this blue. If you was coaching an absolute beginner, you would set up something like this to get them hitting a few balls and see what you've got to work with. And even an absolute beginner would be disappointed to miss by that far. So I'm going to do the same again with this shot. I'm going to aim for the middle of the pocket, aim to miss on the left red, and then aim to miss on the right red. And you'll see that from that angle there, even to miss by what is a shocking miss, the adjustments aren't that big from the middle of the pocket. And then you can even wiggle within the middle of the pocket, and they've got a bit of wiggle room there, and you'll see how tiny they are. They're the tiny micro adjustments that I'm talking about, those little bits. But again, to make the point here, so we're going to try and find the middle of the cue ball, even though it doesn't exist. Right, so I think that's the middle. Right, so that's the middle of the pocket. That's going straight in, happy days. That's missing to the red on the left. That's the middle of the pocket. That's missing to the red on the right. So you see, you'd never adjust that much, but it's still small. This is the middle of the pocket, and again, that's the right hand of the pocket. That's the middle of the pocket. That's a bit of the left. So there's that tiny little adjustment there. So we're going to use the camera, which I hate. Have I said I hate? Have I mentioned I hate this? Right, here we go. So again, so we are in the middle, we hope, right? So again, that's missing the red on the left. That's the middle of the pocket. That's missing the red on the right. So you would never adjust that. That's the middle of the pocket. That's the right-hand side of the pocket, middle of the pocket, left-hand side of the pocket. And these are the micro adjustments I'm talking about. This is what you're going to be doing. And again, when you find that line, and we're good to go. So you see there, it is literally micro adjustments. It's tiny, tiny bits. You know, you will see, if you really get close to professional players, you'll see them making little adjustments if they need to. Sometimes they might know to. They get down on the shot and they go, that's it, I'm going to trust it. It's important. The view on your shot is more important than the view up here. If it wasn't, players wouldn't spend any time on the shot, would they? They'd just pick the line and just go, dish. But they don't. Definitely pick a good line here. I'm all for it, right? It's a thing. But like I say, when you're down on the shot, that's the view that you see. And you know, people don't see it the same. I've mentioned that on previous posts. So it's about learning what you see, what you have to aim at, and then trusting it through practice. And there's no magic formula there. It's all about practice and learning what you see and working with what you've got. Like I say, I can't make that point more enough. Players will see shots, same shots slightly differently. So definitely micro adjust. All I'm doing is telling you to aim, and why you should be told not to aim, I find hilarious. But like I say, yeah, aiming's a good thing, so it's probably best trying it. So there you go. As you can see there, even to miss by a mile, it's still tiny. So if you feel like you're having to adjust more than that, you've probably picked the wrong line up here, which, like I say, it's important to pick a good line up here. But again, most of you aiming will be done down. That's when you really zone in on where you need to hit that ball to get it in that pocket. Yeah, people are being told not to aim. If you're struggling with this concept, just keep saying that. I'm being told not to aim. And then you'll probably see the light. Comment below. See you soon.